Hey, Minimum Effort here, and welcome to the new season of Marvel Snap. Just so you know, in this video, I'm going to start off with a look at card acquisition, because this is going to affect me going forwards. So if you do just want to skip to the decks, there are chapters down below, you can do that, not a problem. But because I am now essentially a free-to-play player, I'm not giving Second any money because of what has happened over the last few months, all the Kid Havoc stuff, the Season Pass Premium stuff, all of that. I am now essentially a free-to-play player. And this is the first month since the Season Pass Premium idea came in. And so I'm now at the start of this month looking at what cards are available to me. Now, because I am only free-to-play, that kind of affects the amount of tokens you get, because it affects the amount of credits you get from the season pass and everything that comes with it, kind of how high you can go in your collection level. So obviously I'm not as high as I normally would be, but I have 20,000 tokens, 20,171 tokens that I have for the start of this month. Now, the problem with cards at the moment is obviously if you are free to play, that means last month's season pass is now available, which is Pedro Fantastic, and last month's Season Pass Premium card, which is Fantastica, that's now available too. But the other problem is all these new cards that they're just releasing at the start of seasons. So yeah, let's take a look. So Seasonal Series 5. So I've been picking up the cards every week as they're released, because I can earn 6,000 tokens a week and I can open the packs and get them. So for me, this season, Stardust and Pedro Fantastic are available. So in season packs, because that is how I would get them, because I want them, they are 5,000 each. So that is 10,000 of my tokens gone already. But the problem is Series 4, actually, because you look at these cards and it's like, well, I probably need Fantastica, because that is a card, that is a deck, that is certainly very good right now. Whether it's nerfed or not in the future, I think you have to think that end of turn still has to be a viable archetype. And because it is Fantastic 4 and it's the big thing at the moment, I think it will still be strong for a while. So you think, okay, I do need Fantastica. I don't really want Cobra, but he's there, and I have to run the risk of getting him because season snap packs are the cheapest way to get the cards. And then it's Redshift and Terrax, who I am happy to get. So I am having to use all of my tokens, that's 20,000 tokens, to get 6 cards. Now that is then probably a problem for the rest of the season, for me to then get enough tokens that I can be in this position next season, because it looks like it's going to be the same every season. So yeah, it's a real challenge for me as a free-to-play player, that I need to bring you the best decks, but I also need to have the new cards available, so that for the sake of my own channel, I'm getting enough viewers, and obviously viewers look for new decks with the new cards. So it's going to be a challenge. We're going to see how we get on this season. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that this is the economy for free-to-play players, and it is pretty dire. So really hope something's going to change. Yeah, just while we're here, I think we might as well go ahead and open these cards and get them now. Maybe we can get some more credits from opening them, that's great. Stardust will be in one of my decks in the video, so I'm happy about him. We actually picked up Fantastica. That's certainly very useful. Thanks, Snapbacks. Yeah, that obviously wasn't planned at all. Also, just to show you, these are my unowned cards. So Bruce Banner, Kang, Makari, and Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. It's just hard to keep up with the amount of cards that are coming out. These are the cards that kind of slip me by. And in Series 4, it's Corvus Slave and Meek. I'm not really a big discard player, so they're the ones that are missing. So obviously, yes, if you are getting, luckily getting some handouts from the snap packs, obviously getting Fantastica was really good. That has kind of gone against my speech on credits and everything, but that's fine, because obviously there's no guarantee you're going to get free cards at all at any point. So yep, and now we've got Redshift, Terrax, and Cobra. If we can avoid Cobra, that would be lovely. I'll just leave him in there, that's fine. Redshift, very happy about. Yeah, I've got an Agatha deck lined up for him. And then, yeah, we might as well roll 50-50. If we can get Terrax, that's great. I've also got a Terrax deck lined up. I might bring it to you later in the week. It's Cobra, never mind. Oh, we do get lots of lovely Cobra boosters, though. Woohoo. and Terrex with some boosters and a handful of tokens. So I'm now on 2,800 tokens. Okay, this is what it is. So yeah, these are the cards I'm going to use this season. I'm still aiming to pick up the new cards every week, and then hopefully the new cards that are revealed in the limited time game modes, hopefully they will be accessible for free-to-play players as well. So yeah, this is kind of how I am at the moment, what I'm doing with Marvel Snap. So yeah, let's get to the decks. So yeah, in this video we're going to be looking at 2 decks with Stardust. Because there are so many new cards, and because I've been able to pick up a few of them as you've just seen, it's going to be very hard to kind of get all these videos out in one go, so I might have to spread them out a bit. But we are going to start with Stardust because that is the kind of featured card this week. So Stardust is a 4/7, has the ongoing ability of cards can't be added to locations except by playing or moving them. And Stardust, just that particular effect affects so many different archetypes, and I think it's going to be a problem, because I think having this kind of Swiss Army knife that can affect so many different things, yes, it's a 4-cost card, so it's only really going to affect potentially turns 4, 5 and 6 depending on your priority for turn 4, but yeah, there's just so many cards that are going to be affected by this, and I just think it's going to be good. I think it probably will be nerfed. I can't say it's staying at 4/7, certainly. But yeah, this is the card. Because it's very strong, I think we need to look at what we can do with it. So I have 2 decks for you with Stardust. I haven't played them yet because it's the start of the new season. We're going into it. I'm going to play these decks blind, and then at the end of the video, we'll kind of look back and see which deck was better, just to kind of help you out. If you're going forwards with Stardust, what kind of decks you want to play with it. So the first deck I've put it in is a Wiccan deck. And the reason for this is kind of a Wiccan deck is Victoria Hand as well. Just because Victoria Hand is very strong at the moment. And also, this is a deck archetype that is not affected by Stardust, because obviously it affects your own cards as well. So yeah, what we're looking at doing is we've got Zabu, Quinjet and Snowguard as 1-cost cards. Cable, Hawkeye, Valentina and Victoria Hand as our 2-cost cards. Red Guardian as our 3-cost card. Moonstone, Wiccan and Stardust as 4-cost cards. And Eliath as a 6-cost card. So, running through the deck. Zabu, because we have, just to go back and show you the deck, we have Moonstone, Wiccan and Stardust, all as 4-cost cards, that we would love to play out on turn 3. Getting Stardust out earlier in the game, if you are playing against a deck that is affected by Stardust, is really good, really strong. That's going to be really good. Wiccan, obviously, if you can hit the curve and play Wiccan on turn 3 and get extra energy for the last 3 turns, that's really strong as well. And obviously Moonstone, if you can play Moonstone on top of Quinjet and Victoria Hand in the same lane, and then get some generated cards out, they're going to be cheaper and stronger. So that's kind of what we're trying to do with this deck. So Quinjet is obviously going to make generated cards cheaper. So we have Snowguard, Cable, Valentina as our main generators. Hawkeye is obviously, Kate Bishop is obviously going to generate the arrows, but because they're 1-cost, they won't be made cheaper by Quinjet, but they will be made stronger by Victoria Hand. Cable I've put in just because at the moment I think we need to directly think about these end of turn decks. We have to have a counter for them. So this deck, if we have Cable, you've got a good chance of taking away one of their key cards, because all of those cards are kind of needed. But obviously, if you can take Invisible Woman First Steps with Cable on turn 2, that's ideal. Or just anything else really that's good. If you can take Prodigy as well, that's really good. Yeah, there's a lot of good targets in that deck. And then you can also kind of use those cards for yourself. If you have that extra energy with Wiccan, there's some fun things that you could potentially do. Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, obviously having those arrows, getting on the board, Acid Arrow in particular, I think is going to be very good. If you can work that into the end of turn mix somehow by messing up what they're trying to do with Prodigy, that might be useful. But yeah, Hawkeye is there for the arrows, that's great. Valentina, because if you play Quinjet on 1, Valentina on 2, whatever Valentina generates you can play on turn 3, depending on what it is. But that seems pretty strong. See if it's a Doctor Doom on turn 3, that looks pretty good. So yeah, and there are quite a few good 6-cost cards available. So yeah, I do like Valentina. I've picked Valentina over Iron Patriots, just because I think we need that extra power that the 6-cost cards can bring. Yes, they will lose 2 power, but then if you play Victoria Hand, they're going to get that power back, and it can potentially be stronger if Moonstone's on top. So yeah, Victoria Hand's key for this, getting that power on those generated cards. Really, really useful. And then Red Guardian is our other tech card with Stardust, because if they do play Invisible Woman First Steps as a card in a lane that's on its own, if you can then Red Guardian that before they can do something with it, that's potentially very useful. Red Guardian hitting Athena or Havoc, these kind of cards as well. I've been then looking at other decks like always Iron Man, Dracula, all these kind of decks that have these very low powered cards that are really good targets for Red Guardian. He's really good tech. Moonstone, of course, because we want to get the extra cheapness through Quinjet and the extra power through Victoria Hand. So yeah, Moonstone, Victoria Hand, and Quinjet in the same lane. That's what you're looking to do. Wiccans get that extra energy out because with your cards that hopefully generating, you want to have more options to put your cards on the board, depending on what they are. So yeah, Wiccan, you really want to be hitting this curve where you can. Stardust, like I said, I think it's going to be really good tech against so many archetypes. Yeah, Stardust is going to be a very good card. And then Alioth, because hopefully if you can have that extra energy, you've got power on the board, generated power, boosted through Valentina. I keep saying Valentina, Victoria Hand. You should be in a pretty good position to have priority, and then Alioth can hopefully do some magic on turn 6. So yeah, this is the first deck that I'm trying, and I think Stardust fits in this deck because it's kind of that tech option where on turn 4, yes, you probably want to play Wiccan, but if you don't have Wiccan and you're playing against a deck that Stardust can directly affect, Stardust is great for that, and then you continue doing other things with this deck on turns 5 and 6. So yeah, let's play this deck to see how we get on, but first of all I'm going to show you the other deck. And then the second deck we're using with Stardust is a move deck, because Stardust obviously can't be added to locations except by playing or moving them. So this is great for you because you're not restricted by Stardust's ability, and with this kind of move package you still have lots of chances to get power on the board. And also, like, Stardust can fit quite well on curve, because if you can play a few movers in your first turns, turns 1 to 3, obviously getting cards out, you've got Madame Web, you've got Iron Fist and Ghost Spider to kind of move things around, and Doctor Strange as well. And then turn 4 you're looking at it and saying, okay, have we got Fanfare, have we got Stardust that we can put down? Obviously by turn 4 you know what kind of deck you're playing against, and so you would know whether Stardust is needed or not. But if it is needed, yes, obviously you play Stardust, because then turns 5 and 6 you have Fanfare, Hellion and Heimdall that can move all those cards around and get you more power to win the game. So yeah, so obviously starting with Aranya, you know kind of how these move packages work. I'm not going to explain every card to you, but yeah, your movers are Aranya, Ghost Spider, Iron Fist and Madame Web and Doctor Strange and Fanfare and Hellion and Heimdall. They're moving all these cards around. So the key cards for moving are, of course, Human Torch, Dagger and Vulture. But also don't negate the power that Heimdall, Hellion and Fanfare bring, as well as Stardust. Like 4/7 is a really good stat line, I think, especially given what it does. So yeah, I think this could be a very good home for Stardust as well. We don't often run a lot of tech in these packages. Maybe Cosmo would be the other potential tech card that you would want to be playing. But yeah, like I said, like I think that curve of turns 4, 5 and 6 with this bottom row cards here, that could work pretty well. So yeah, we're going to see how we get on. And yeah, we'll come out the other side and we'll see which of these decks is better. So yes, if you like this video, please remember to subscribe to the channel. I try to bring you as many videos as I can every week with as many new decks as I can. Obviously with all these new cards, I will try my best this week to bring you as many decks as I can for them. But yeah, obviously I work full time, I'm a dad, and everything takes time. So yeah, I'll see what I can do. But yeah, please remember to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on anything. So yeah, let's take a look at these decks. Cheers. Okay, cool. This is our first game with Wiccstar, our Wiccan deck, Victoria Hand. Let's see what we can do. Nothing to play on turn 1, so Wiccan is instantly out of the picture. But we do have Cable, we do have Hawkeye. They have a Red Hulk. So this could potentially be the on end of turn. Deck, obviously Sandbar is not great for us if we are creating cards. That's a real problem for us. If we can hit Snow Guard, we can turn the location off maybe. So yeah, let's see what we can at least get with Cable. We get Sunspot. Do you know what? That's not bad. Obviously it does mean they're probably more likely now to get Havoc or Thena, because that thins their deck a little bit. They of course get more energy from Surge in Castle Blackstone. Okay, so we are going to play Victoria Hand and Snow Guard. Yeah, Sunspot's not a great pull for us because we probably want to be using all our energy because we are essentially a Wiccan deck. This is a Doom 2099 deck. Okay, so if we can get priority, we put Jean Grey. That's interesting. We have priorities. Do we have priority? We do have priority still. Okay. What we want to hit is Doom 2099. We can't because of Jean Grey. What can we do? We can play... We can play Sunspot and Hawkeye. Or Red Guardian and Sunspot, something like that. Or we can just play Moonstone. I think we really need to try and fill this and kind of get out of this lane. Jean Grey probably isn't the best pull for us from expansion. So I think we do this. Because we have an arrow that we can at least play there, and then we can play somewhere else next turn. It's Acid Arrow and Basic Arrow. Okay, so Human Torch and Cyclops. This is the high Evo Doom 2099 deck. Obviously they have a Red Hulk, that's not looking good for us. And because we don't have Stardust, who would have been ideal for this, funnily enough. Are they going to play 2 cards to fill here? I think what we have to do is see if they're playing Doom 2099, they're only going to play 1 card, right? So actually we can play Acid Arrow and it will fill this lane, and that will cause Human Torch to double now. Then what we have to do is, I think we have to turn some Doom bots off. We have to try and get enough power, because obviously we know they're going to play Red Hulk. They have played the Thing. That's also not good for us, unless it can kill Jean Grey. And so I think we are cooked in the upper lanes. It of course does not kill Jean Grey. Cool. Yep, we are gone. Yeah, not the best start. Obviously, yeah, these end of turn cards are going to be a problem. If we would have pulled Stardust, though, we could have potentially shut down extra Doom bots coming out. That's one of the decks that you can really target with Stardust. But obviously, she was hiding in our deck. Is it she? Is Stardust a she or a he? They were hiding in our deck. So yeah, cool. Let's see if we can win the next one. Okay, cool. So we have Snow Guard. Since the London, it's potentially great with Victoria Hand and Moonstone. If they can land in the same lane once they're copied, that's very good. Obviously the main thing is having 2 Victoria Hands on the board, and you can obviously put Victoria Hand and Moonstone in these lanes for a start. That's fine. Or do we have Dark Dimensions? We have Wickham, which works very well. So yep, let's go straight in with Victoria Hands. Depending what they play, it's going to be Red Guardian or probably Snow Guard Bear, because we don't want to turn this location off because we're going to be playing Moonstone next turn. Maximus, thank you very much, giving us Kate Bishop Hawkeye. So yeah, let's go with the Bear, that's fine. And obviously hiding that power is a 3/8. It's got to be more than that, isn't it? Because Moonstone's going down as well. So that's pretty good, so we don't mind that at all. The problem might be Obviously, we are playing Moonstone here. If it doesn't go right, we won't get that extra power there. They have played Shang-Chi. Oh, it does go there. Okay, so obviously, yeah, we could potentially win this lane. But obviously, if we're playing something here, we have to be careful of what he's put here. Actually, we can turn these locations off now with Snowguard Hawk. I don't mind that at all. And I think we do have to play here to stop them copying something over. What do we want to take from them? We didn't play Wiccan. I completely forgot about Wiccan. I saw the Moonstone and I went for it. And that was probably the wrong move. I think regardless, we're playing Goliath next turn. So I think all we want to do really, I mean, we can cable. I think we play cable here. We don't really mind about taking something away from them. But yeah, we can at least stop them from getting copies of stuff. And then we can Goliath where we need to. Killmonger. Killmonger takes out Snowguard. And it's Gamora. Do we have priority? We do have priority because the bear revealed. That's fine. So yes, it's just Goliath. Where is going to be better? They've played Shang-Chi already, so I think it's just Goliath mid. Let me say thank you very much. Magneto. No, nice try, that's fine. Yeah, that doesn't do anything bad for us. So yeah, cool, that's... I'm annoyed with myself that I played Moonstone over Wiccan. I think where I've been playing a lot of Victoria Hand lately, that has been the kind of curve that I've been playing. But obviously what we want to do is play Wiccan on 4, and then you can play Moonstone on 5 with other things that you have. So yeah, even though that wasn't the ideal play, that's a good example of, anyway, if you don't have Wiccan, that's still what you can do with this deck. So yeah, cool. And actually the bear... the Snowguard Hawk was very useful there for turning off those locations, which revealed these cards, and with that extra power gave us priority. So yeah, that was pretty good. Cool. Okay, cool. Playing against Gideon, who's got the same avatar as me. Okay, we have our forecast cards still in our deck, so I think, yes, let's start with Zabu. Camartage, very good for us. We have a few reveals. I think we're going to play Valentine. Oh, we don't have Quinjet on board. We don't have Quinjet on board, but for the Wiccan curve, we can still play Hawkeye and Snowguard next turn. So, and getting 2 hits from Valentina could potentially be very good, depending what they are, of course. Eson's pretty good. Considering we've got generated cards, Eson's very good. And a leader. And this is potentially destroy. So if we can get Stardust out, that stops destroy stuff from happening. We are going to turn Wolverine off. I think that's a good choice for Red Guardian to target if it is destroy. Never mind, it's going to get destroyed anyway, right? So hold on the Deadpool. That's a real shame. If it would have gone on the Wolverine, that would have been much better. Okay, so Leader's really good because Leader can pull us a death or a null, but obviously we want to save that till later. The other problem is because it's a generated card, if you play Eson now, it will play Leader. So what we need to do is... I think we can Moonstone now, because if we do get Quinjet or Victoria Hand, that can go straight into that lane, and I don't mind it being Crown City. Deathlock, okay, so yeah, they get destroyed, but only Deadpool comes back.
What a game!
It is Victoria Hands, so we can go Victoria Hands. I was going to play Snowguard Hawk, but do you know what? If we play Leader onto Camartage, we would get 2 of whatever their biggest cards are. Now, obviously, the problem is where those cards are going to go, but we play Hawkeye Cape Bishop because if we do get the Kim arrow as well, that could potentially be played into Crown City, and we don't. So yeah, so obviously they're going to have a 16 power Deadpool.
I definitely need to change my underwear.
So yeah, where are they going to be compared? So it's leader here, and we need to leave a space. It's just grapple arrow because it's bigger, it's more power, and we leave a space for whatever they play. Leader is going to put that card here, and because we're winning the 3 locations, that seems pretty good. So yeah, we're not going to get the double effect of getting 2 of the strongest cards out, but yeah, we'll certainly get 1, which is Deadpool. What else have they played? X23 and Death. So yeah, not a problem. Yeah, leader was a pretty good pull there from Valentina. And yeah, obviously Camartage works really well there as well. Pretty good. Obviously, we didn't pull Stardust again. Yet to see her in the games we played. But yeah, actually, as we know, Stardust works well against Destroy decks. If we would have got her out, that would have been good as well. But yeah, happy with how this played. That went really well. Okay, cool. So yeah, Wick and Valentina regarding in hand. If we can get a 1 cost, we have the curve, but we do not. So yeah, let's go. Hydra Bob. This could be end of turn stuff. Camplar gives us Mr. Fantastic. That's probably no good. Is Zabu any good to us? Only for Stardust. So let's play Valentina instead. It's Mr. Fantastic. So yeah, this is going to be end of turn stuff. Leader is potentially... Yeah, unless they're playing like a Hulk or a Red Hulk or something, but might not be. We can try and turn something off with Red Guardian. I do think we need to wait and see if they play Invisible Woman First Steps, because that is, if they play it here, that's a card that we would potentially look to work against. It's Mr. Fantastic. I really want to play Mr. Fantastic. We could play Red Guardian and hit a Hydra Bob. We could play Red Guardian and hit Pedro. Arrows could potentially affect them as well. Yes, Invisible Woman left, so he's now protected by Pedro Fantastic. I think it's a bit risky, but I think we could play Acid Arrow. Hear me out. And Red Guardian, because if they play 1 card here, we can stop them from getting Prodigy, basically. Unless they do it now, which they don't. Okay, so we've at least put an arrow over there to reduce their power. And it, of course, hits the arrow, because I should have played Red Guardian first. Right. Leader now, potentially not a bad shout. Yeah, obviously depends what they play. It's Blue Marvel and Sunspot. So we get the Blue Marvel. Don't mind that.
All systems go.
So it does mean now if we do get a Goliath, we do have priority. But of course we do not. And we don't have the finishers in this deck that we would need. So yeah, that is how he retreats. Yeah, obviously would have liked maybe something a bit more powerful from Leader. But yeah, obviously if we're not seeing Wiccan, we're not seeing Goliath, we're then relying on Victoria hand, Moonstone stuff, and those cards were still in hand anyway. Quinjet came out late, so yeah, not the draw for this deck for this game. Cool. So Zabu, fantastic. Yeah, might as well play that into Miniaturized Lab. And it's going to hit Wiccan and Stardust. So it's Hydra Bob. So this is our first experience with the Herald of Galactus. So obviously the Hydra Bob is a great target for that. What we could potentially do though, let's play Cable. Cable now. Okay, so yeah, Galactus does not get the power boost. It's nice that it shows you what the power is as well. Bruce Banner. Again, with Wiccan decks, we're not really looking to... the other good thing about this, is obviously because they've played it into Miniaturized Lab, they would have to snap to move Bob out. So Galactus isn't going to get any more power because this is tied to this location, and I think we give them Snow Guard. I don't think we mind that at all. What will Vantina get for us? Null. Probably not the best card unless they're going to start destroying stuff. It's Chimera, so nothing's going to get destroyed. Okay, so they do have a 6/14 Galactus that we need to at least contend with. But yeah, we go with Wiccan. And then let's see what we can draw. Invisible Woman first steps. This is potentially a zoo, like Marvel Boy, like Gilgamesh type deck, which I liked playing last season as well. Stardust. Stardust probably doesn't do anything against this deck. Okay, I think possibly a lot of people are maybe thinking that Stardust is going to be a big card, and so they're not playing those decks at the moment. What can we do? See, Moonstone doesn't have any valuable targets for us. We can potentially take out something with Red Guardian. I might wait for that for next turn though, so actually we might just go Bruce Banner. What do we want to play? I'm going to play Stardust just because I don't think I've played it yet. So Prodigy has copied the Invisible Woman, of course it has. So we're looking at... They need to play some end of turn cards now though, right? Do they have priority? We have priority, because I was going to say if they play something like a Havoc or something, Red Guardian would have been a great target here. We need Bruce Banner to Hulk out. So Red Guardian mid, probably not going to do a lot. I think we need to no Snow Guard Bear gonna Snow Guard Bear might give us something if they play it here. I just hope that Snow Guard Bear doesn't then go over. What we need though is something else. We need to save a bit of energy for potential Bruce Banner. Yeah, let's see. I didn't play anything right anyway. So yeah, we need Hulk out. It's Galactus, first steps. Hello, mate. Come on, Bruce. Come on, Bruce. Hey. So yeah, Galactus going up by quite a lot with that as well, with the bonus hits from Invisible Woman and Prodigy. So that was a 22 power Galactus first steps. But Brucey Baby won us the game. So yeah, cool. Okay, cool. We are moving on to the move deck. Chiguia is not good for us at all. We do have Stardust.
Hey man, I'm cool.
Oh, and against the Darkhawk deck now that Terex is in play. This means we need to start winning some locations. Topaz is good. We don't mind that at all. Potentially they might play Terex on turn 3 if they're looking to gain priority. Obviously they've got extra rocks in their own deck now as well. I think we just go Madame Web because we play Vulture. Or we even play Topaz next turn. Nightcrawler, so this is actually potentially C2. I thought it was going to be a Darkhawk deck. Man, I love Darkhawk, but yeah, we haven't seen a lot of Darkhawk lately. Ooh, Iron Fist is potentially good as well for moving cards over into Electrical Ear. But we are going to Topaz, because Topaz then we can play Vulture next turn. That'll go over. And then Iron Fist as well, and then we can look at moving other things too. Is C2... Is Cerebro one of the decks affected by Stardust? Potentially, if they play Brood. Storm, okay, so that has affected our Iron Fist. Yeah, Stardust works against C2 because if they play Brood, it stops them from generating that Brood. But we need to play the Vulture now. I mean, we have Heimdall as well. So we could just forget about right lane, because we could play... Vulture is going to move into Madame Web. You can put it back here with Ghost Spider. And that gives us a next turn of Stardust, Iron Fist. I mean, we've got Doctor Strange as well. Yeah, let's do that. Depends obviously what they play as well. They don't play right. It's Scorpion. This isn't C3 at all. Is it Arisham? No, that's... Yeah, it might be Arisham. That's not a lot of decent cards there. Okay. So yeah, Stardust. And Rania, because we can actually move Heimdall into this lane to win it, and then Vulture's going to win this lane. Yeah, let's see how this goes. This is a weird deck. And they didn't snap, because obviously they had priority on turn 5. They haven't snapped, so it's not a bot. Iceman hits the Iron Fist, that's fine. Stardust will stop a few things. Obviously Nightcrawler will still be able to move. And then yeah, we're just going to go Aranya. Heimdall.
I see the way.
It's a Daredevil. It's weird, man, because that's... I didn't snap. But yeah, obviously, yeah.
Victory.
Examples of what you can do with this deck. Stardust, we managed to get out. Didn't have any effect on what we're playing against. But yeah, a win. We'll start from there. Okay, cool. So yeah, Aranya, Dagger. Strange Academy is fantastic for us. A real player as well. Very tempted to snap. I'm only going to move to the right. I didn't play Aranya. Don't know why not. Cool. Let's do that. It's going to be hard to get cards into Strange Academy unless we can get Ghost Spider, Doctor Strange, something like that would be useful. Gloria stops that a bit as well. Yep, let's activate Aranya and let's move Vulture. We're going to play Vulture here to move it here, because then what we can do is turn 5 play Hellion to move cards here, and then Heimdall can move them back left on turn 6. So yeah, Doctor Strange is actually going to move stuff, isn't it? So that's fine. We can play Doctor Strange here, and we probably want to play Dagger mid. No, wait. We want to play Dagger left. No, this is the thing with move. We need to kind of plot through all these things. So Vulture is going to move there, and then back here. Hellion's going to move it over here. So I think we need Dagger just sitting mid. Although Strange Academy is going to move cards out, so maybe Dagger should have been somewhere else.
I am the Sorcerer Supreme.
I mean, Strange Academy is going to move them all as well anyway, isn't it? No, it's not. Magic's turned that off. Okay. Viper moves the hood over. Okay. Right, this is what we're going to do. We'll move Human Torch. No! Son of a bitch. Fan Fei would be useful now. Fan Fei would be useful now, he says. We activate Fan Fei on turn 7. Dagger is going to be then the main point getter, so we need them to play some cards right. And the other problem is they're likely to have Cannonball, and we don't want to be clogged. Okay. He's the demon. Fair enough. So yeah, all we can really do... Oh, there's Stardust. What is going to move? What's the order of moving? Yeah, Dagger will move, and then Heimdall will move it back if it's that, because it will be 2 cards, so it will be Hood and Dagger, I believe that's right. Yeah, let's try it, see what happens. Shadow King is a Vulture. Cannibal moves the Fan Fei.
I see the way.
But we still win anyway. Yeah, that didn't quite go according to plan, but yeah, well, win as a win. Obviously, they didn't have any way to clog us with the Cannonball. So yeah, that was okay. Yeah, move takes a little bit of work getting used to. I have not played move for a while, I would admit. So yeah, let's figure this out as we go. But yeah, that's not a bad start. Stardust, I think Viper. Cards can't be added to locations except by playing or moving them. I think it stops Viper. And there was a list I can find of the effects, the cards that Stardust affected. I might check that. Yeah, I think Viper was on it. I'll double check for the next game. Okay, just in reference to that last game with Viper, I've got the list of the cards affected by Stardust, and Viper is not on it. Bifrost, by the way, is fantastic for us. Yep. So yeah, Viper's not on that list. So I suppose it's because it's not adding it to their own location, it's kind of sending it over, and I assume that's not counted as it being covered by the effect. Yep, we are going to. Let's play Dagger. We can move Dagger back or wherever we need it, and then play it with Madame Web. That's fine. So yeah, obviously there's a lot of cards that Stardust does affect, but obviously it's going to take a while to figure out what's what. Mr. Sinister, this is fantastic for Dagger. Dagger is going to get huge here.
Live from the Daily Bugle.
Oh good, we have a Wolfsbane. Cool. I mean, we can do this. That's absolutely fine. And then turn 4. I think we just play Madame Web into Bifrost. This is a token Patriot deck by the looks of it, what we're playing against. So yeah, Dagger is going to get very, very tasty. So Human Torch is also going to move right as well, so we're looking good so far. Hellion, very, very useful. Obviously we can't play Hellion mid, but we should be... It is clobbering time, he's right. He is right. Dagger is going to get really, really big. So the next question is, how big can we get? We can move. So we still need to win the lane, so it's going to be Dagger, Hellion left, and then let's see what we can get. Obviously Heimdall. What we could do, yeah, that's fine. What we can do is, right, so and there is Heimdall. What we could, because we can move these cards, if we move, say, Ghost Spider here, we then move. Right, hang on, no, undo. Because we have Heimdall, it's just, okay, how are we going to win mid? So we can't play Heimdall into Big House. But we can do this, actually. Let's do this. Because then Dagger will go mid. Hopefully, Human Torch goes to 16, 8, plus 2 and 2. That's a lot of power. That should hopefully be enough. Obviously Dagger is going to clean up mid, so yeah, let's see if it's going to be enough. But yeah, obviously that would have been so 16, 24, 26, 28 power left. So they would have been relying on something like Shang-Chi. Even a Shang-Chi, I mean, we've still got 12 power there, so they'd have to do something else as well. But yeah, obviously this is a really good example of kind of like the power you can get with this deck. Dagger in particular doing numbers. Yes, Stardust would have stopped. Well, obviously you've got to get it out in time to be able to stop, but it stops Mr. Sinister from working, which is why, I mean, as of yet, I mean, we haven't used Stardust that much, but also thinking about the cards it affects, how many of these cards it's affecting are going to be late game plays. I must have got that list open. Nope, it's gone. So yeah, that's something worth considering just for the future for Stardust. If it's not having that effect, is there another card that could be put in the deck, basically? So yeah, it'd be interesting to see kind of what other players are doing with it, the effect, the luck that they're having with it. I'm hoping that Alex Kocher will have something on Stardust sooner rather than later this week, so I need to see how good this card is. But yeah, obviously move is good and can always get good power. So yeah, cool. Obviously rocks are not good, but Aranya is, so let's play Aranya. We have Heimdall, we have Stardust as well. Very good at Need of a Leer. Need of a Leer does make rocks actually fairly useful. Human Torch. Yeah, let's see if we can move it as well. Madame Web. Ghost Spider. Strange. Moving that around as well. Rhino. Interesting. Rhino on a rock is a good put into Nidavellir. We are not running Shang-Chi either, so... yep, hold off this turn. Well, one night. Mate, these rocks are not the one. What we're going to do then is play Stardust. Let's see what effect Stardust can have. So if we would have played Stardust first there, the Void would not have moved over.
Cleared for takeoff.
So, actually, Iron Fist Dagger is pretty good. I also don't... it's going to move something over, isn't it? I know we're not clogging, but what we can do, because we have Heimdall, we have a space potentially left open for him. But yeah, we need to be careful about what's moving and what's not moving next turn. So Dagger is pretty big. It's Cersei. Okay, so that's moved. Devil Dino. What we can do instead then... Werewolf moving 2. This is what we need to be careful of. So it's Vulture. If we play Heimdall... If we play Heimdall here, it's got to be Human Torch and Stardust that move over, leaving us with Dagger, and then Iron Fist, Rock. Obviously, all going to get bigger. So you're 15, so it'll be 20, 25, 27, which isn't enough to win it. Unless we... I mean, that's really not enough either, is it? I did that right? Maybe if we leave Heimdall, it's going to be 15... 7's 22, it's not going to be enough. I think we need to leave Dagger mid. Let's try that and let's see where this wolf ends up.
I see the way.
32 mids. So it's Hood. Wolf moves left. What if I play mid? Annihilus, yeah, they win. Yeah, we didn't quite have enough for mid, obviously the moves. Yes, we had a lot of cards we could put into this lane with moving, but obviously they're not enough power compared to what they've got there. Yeah, obviously it would have been nice to get Stardust out earlier, but because of priority we weren't able to do that. I think priority is an important thing we need to think about as well, because basically if you're playing Stardust in a deck that's not likely to have priority, obviously that's only 2 turns if you're playing on turn 4, whereas if you have priority that's effectively 3 turns that it has the effect for. So yeah, not massively impressed with Stardust so far. I mean, I don't think we've been playing against a lot of decks where we would have had much use from it. Obviously, yeah, this is the first real example where we would have said, okay, the Sentry wouldn't have come out, so Cersei then wouldn't have anything to hit, so it's then forcing your opponent to do something else. So yeah, let's keep going with this move deck. It's been pretty good so far, but I think it's been pretty good in spite of Stardust, not because of it. So it would be nice to get a highlight where actually Stardust is really useful. Okay, cool. Some nice early movers. Stark Tower. Stark Tower was good as well if we can move our cards into this location before, it's after turn 5, so Hellion. We might have to move cards back there. That's not a problem though. So yeah, Iranian now. Then we can potentially play Iron Fist next turn, and then Dagger after being activated. Well, that's actually not too bad because Otto's lab might be a problem for us. Yeah, we're going to Iron Fist. I have to remember the order of this. I think it goes on reveal first, and then the activate happens. So I think it goes left, right. Again, this is the problem with not playing move consistently. I do love move, but yeah, I've just not been playing it. I think with all the new cards that have been coming out, it's been a while since there's been new cards that have directly affected move. Scrolls are pretty bad. So we think it's dagger here, because it will get the hits from going left first with Iron Fist, getting these hits, and then going right again. Because we played dagger, I think the location of reveal happens after I played a card there as well, which is Green Goblin. Okay. The problem with this is obviously dagger is going to go left and then right and then be blocked, and we can't move it with Madame Web because of the Goblin and Hellion. We just don't have a lot of cards to move stuff around with. I've given them 3 crossbones. Unbelievable. We don't have a lot we can do, but what we can do is play Stardust here, potentially shut down anything they're doing. We can play Hellion and we can move dagger, potentially do something there. But yeah, obviously with all these cards and squirrels, it doesn't leave us a lot of space, and space is what you need for a move deck. Oh, spider, fine. So it's got to be Hellion right. So we can move dagger, and then we're probably hoping for. I mean, nothing's really going to be wrong. They've moved Nightcrawler over. Storm. If we do get Heimdall,
all systems go.
They did move that Nightcrawler, didn't they? And it is Heimdall. Okay, so yeah, we're just going to move dagger right and just play Heimdall left, and then that should be enough. Yeah, let's see.
I see the way.
Shang-Chi, is it? No, it's Carnage. Cool. Yeah, obviously giving them a 3 crossbones wasn't ideal, but yeah, even with the squirrels taking up space, we were still able to get some decent power on the board there. So yeah, did Stardust have any effect there? Nope, not even close. So yeah, those were the games. It's been quite hard to evaluate Stardust in this kind of short amount of time. I'm basically having to play a few games with each deck. As opposed to like normally I get like at least 10 games in a run, but because I'm doing 2 decks in this video and because of all the cards released this week, I've got to try and plan my week accordingly. So I haven't got the time to sit down and play lots and lots of games to figure it out. But yeah, obviously in this deck, I think in terms of Stardust themselves, I think this is the best deck for them of the 2. Because getting the ability to get Stardust out on turn 3, potentially with Zabu, would be more beneficial. But yeah, obviously it's hard when you're not playing against any decks that Stardust counteracts. Like in these games that we probably played about like 15 or so games, but Stardust hasn't had any effect on any cards that we've played. So yeah. The important things to note, I think, are priority. The Stardust, if you're playing Stardust on turn 4, you want to have priority so that you get the effect of that turn as well as turns 5 and 6. So that's something to consider. And then, yeah, kind of it's what deck it goes in. I think it fits quite nicely into this deck, but I don't think this deck is fully optimised just yet. I think there's probably a bit more we can do with it. But it's got a good chance to get some power on the board. Victoria Hand's always good. And if you can get priority for final turns, life is always pretty good as well. So yeah, there might be something here. If you took Wiccan out of the equation and looked into things a bit more, there's probably other things you could do. I think you probably need one other big card, because if you don't pull Valentina, for example, you're hoping for Cable to get a good card that you can use, or you're hoping for Victoria Hand and Moonstone to do some magic for the Snow Guard cards or the arrows or something like that. So potentially something like Infinity Ultron, possibly in this deck, so you could have a curve of Stardust on 4, Infinity Ultron on 5, and then turn 6 Victoria Hand, Stones, and whatever else you've got, or the 4-cost card from Valentina, something like that. So there may be something there that's a bit more optimized. And Wiccan decks, obviously, it depends on getting that curve to get those cards out. But yeah, this deck was okay. I think the move deck was the better deck, but that's because it's a really good move deck. I mean, like, like I said earlier, like, I think Cosmo is probably the card that goes in this deck, because then you can play that into Madame Web and move it to where you think you need it later in the game as that kind of tech option. Stardust being in here feels okay for the curve, but then if it's not getting the effects, it's not ideal, and because you're kind of trying to build the moves in the first few turns, might not have priority depending on how it's going for Stardust on turn 4. But yeah, this deck won more games and was better, but that's because it is a better deck, and that's not because of Stardust. So yeah, I think Stardust will still prove to be good, but I think getting priority, I think, is going to be key for them, because yeah, getting the effect for 3 turns instead of 2, potentially if you're playing against Doom 2099 as well, that will shut that down straight away. But obviously then it depends on if you can get this card out on turn 4 and have that priority. So yeah, something here with the move deck, obviously very good, lots of power in these decks as we know. But yeah, I don't really think Stardust added much to it, so it's going to take a bit more deck building to kind of find out where their best home is, basically. So yeah, just kind of look back at the other new cards that we've gained this week. So we've got Terrax the Tamer. I'm not making a deck for Cobra, don't worry about that. Redshifts. I finally also got, obviously, Pedro Fantastic and Fantasticar, but obviously there's lots of decks existing for those already. So what I'm going to try and do this week is I've got a deck lined up for Redshift and I've got a deck lined up for Terrax. So I will give them both some play, and then I'll try to get some more videos out for you this week to play with these cards. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. If you stayed through to the end, thank you very much, really appreciate it. If you can remember to subscribe as well, I'd love to have more followers on this channel and help it continue to grow. And yeah, if you play these decks, let me know how you get on, let me know what you think of the new cards. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and cheers, bye.